this video to let y'all know, please be safe and please be aware of your surroundings. Literally an hour ago, I was coming home from the movies, Kennesaw, AMC in Kennesaw. I'm on Ernest Barrett. I come to a light, and there is a black Kia, a truck. It is a male in this truck, a male with dreads. Pulls up on the side of me in the Kia truck. I literally look at him. He's looking at me, so I scoot up a little bit closer to the light. He also scoots up with me. At this point, I look back over at him, and he's reaching down in his passenger side. If you know me, you already know my anxiety already be on 10. So I'm like, what are you reaching for? The light turns green. I speed through the light. I'm thinking he's trying to race because he then speeds up also, and he comes up next to me. He's trying to make sure he stays next to me. I braked, he braked. I got over, but at this point, he was in front of me, so he couldn't get over behind me or whatever. He stayed in front of me. At this point, I'm about to get ready to turn into my neighborhood. Mind y'all, something in my spirit was telling me, hurry up and get home. Hurry up and get home. As I'm turning into my neighborhood, or I turn my blinker on and I see he's starting to brake. In my mind, that's telling me he's trying to see what move I'm about to make. I turn into my neighborhood. I see, as I'm turning, he makes a full stop in the middle of the road. At this point, I know this man is about to follow me. Sorry. So I turn into my neighborhood, and I'm screaming to myself in the car, get home, Zanai, this man is following you, get home. I pull into the parking spot, like, y'all, I just reversed it. I hop out the car. As I'm driving, I'm patting myself, looking for keys. I cannot find the keys. So when I pull up to the house, I turn the car off, I grab my purse, I grab both of my phones, and I just run up to my door. My door is locked. I didn't even have the time, y'all, I'm sorry, but I didn't have the time to, like, bang or nothing. I knew my parents were sleeping. As I turn around, I see him pull up right, like, at my walkway. I shoot down the back stairs, and I shoot up the back side of my neighborhood. As I'm running, I'm running. If you know me, I ran track pretty fast. I'm running, and I see a lady with her porch light on. I go to her door, and I'm banging on her door. I'm asking her, please, like, can you please let me in? She's like, I'm not letting you in, but I'm going to call the cops for you. I'm like, girl, screw you. I go to her neighbor, and he has a ring doorbell. I'm ringing his doorbell. But at this point, my thought process is, he has jumped out of his car, and he is following me. I'm on foot, he's on foot. I need to find somewhere to hide. At this point, I will be blocked in by the two people's house I'm in between. So I take out of that, I run out of there, I run up further through the backside of my neighborhood, and I find a cut. I hide in that cut. I'm on the phone with someone else, and I'm on the phone with the cops. As I'm on the phone with the cops, she's telling me to tell her what's going on. I'm whispering because I'm afraid that, like, the man is behind me or walking up on me. I didn't want him to hear me. So I'm ducked down, I'm talking, I'm on the phone, telling her what's going on. Both of my phones are lit up. I'm trying to send my location to somebody. I'm trying to lower the brightness, and I see a flashlight. I don't know, y'all. It might have been God. I don't know. But this flashlight, I seen it, but it did not come all the way up to where I was hiding. So once I seen the flashlight go off or turn off, whatever it did, I literally sat there for a few seconds, and I thought to myself, okay, you either finna sit here, and this man finna walk up and see you, and Lord knows what's gonna happen, or you finna run. I take off running again. By this point, I fall, y'all. My hand is all cut up. My knees are bruised up. Not too bad because I didn't fall too bad, but my ankle foot is cut up. So I take off running again. As I'm running, I realize, I look around, mind you, I'm in shock. I'm realizing I'm at the front of my neighborhood. Now my thought process is, okay, I took off running. Did this guy go back to his car, and is he now trying to leave the neighborhood? If he's leaving the neighborhood, he's going to see me in the front of the neighborhood. So I take off, and I run into a big field near my house. I run into the big field. I'm still on the phone with the cops. I'm running. She's on the phone like, ma'am, I know you're in a field, but you cannot just stay in the open field. You have to find somewhere to hide. So I run behind a dumpster. I'm hiding behind a dumpster. And I'm on the phone with the cops. I'm asking her how far are they. She's not telling me anything. She's just steady asking me questions, which I know is their job, but that is annoying as shit. So, sorry, I'm still so shaken up. So, by that point, I am hiding behind the dumpster. There are big restrooms set up, male and female. So I run over there. I'm hiding over there. I don't know why I didn't think of this first, but I call my mom. And as I'm on the phone with my mom, she jumps up. I'm telling her where I'm at, so she's making her way to me. The cop on the phone tells me the cops are on their way, so I see a flashlight, but it's from afar. I can tell it's from afar. I'm thinking of the flashlight I just saw, which was him. So I'm like, okay, if this is him, I have nowhere to go. If I go into a bathroom stall, I'm trapped. So I ducked down on the side. Thank God I heard the man say, "This is the police." In that moment, though, I'm like, I don't know if this could be him lying and saying he's the police to get me to come out. I don't know. So I just by faith, I just peeked my head out, and it was an officer. I run into the officer's arms. I'm like, "Please, just put me in the backseat of your car, please. Put me in the backseat of your car. Please, my mom's on the way. Just put me in the backseat of your car." He ends up putting me in the backseat of his car, and by that point, my parents were already coming down into the field where I was at. I had threw my purse off. I had to go back and get my purse. Y'all, moral of the story is please just be safe. Be aware of your surroundings. Like, thank God that God was on my side and that my instincts kicked in and I was somewhat aware of my surroundings, because Lord knows if I was ditzy and not paying attention or maybe distracted by talking to somebody on the phone, I would not have seen that man break. I would not have seen that man turn into my neighborhood. I would not have seen that man pull up in front of my house. I would have known nothing. So please, y'all, be so aware of y'all surroundings. Make sure y'all are staying alert. And if you can avoid it, please make sure if you're going out, you with your homegirls, you with your friends, or you sharing your location with some people, please, y'all, please. I just thank God.
If you ask women and girls what their main fear would be should the world end or society around them collapse, they're going to tell you that part of their fear is what men are going to do to them given the opportunity. And I think part of that is because women are walking around with the knowledge that what stops a lot of men from doing awful things to them is the idea that there might be a repercussion for them, for the man, if they were to be caught and found out, that society would know that they had done this thing, would judge them, that they would go to jail, like whatever. If you're a guy listening to this, I want you to think really carefully about some of the dudes that you know and what they would do to women and girls if they could guarantee that they would never be caught. There's a really poignant scene in The Walking Dead where one of the male characters says something like, if these guys find us, our men are going to be dead and our women are going to wish that they were. And as a former humanitarian aid worker, I was warned about this all the time. I was warned, like, if you go there and you are taken, they will kill the men, but what they will do to you is going to be so much worse. And also, as a humanitarian aid worker, I have been to countries and spoken to people who witnessed society collapse and the chaos around that because of like extreme weather events or natural phenomenon or even civil war. And the one thing that every one of those scenarios had was women and girls being raped and sexually assaulted. I went to Haiti in 2010 after the earthquake, and I also went to Pakistan after a flood happened in the same year. And in both countries, I spoke to women who were raped or sexually assaulted by men within the chaos, because men seized their opportunity to do something to these women and girls, knowing that it was highly unlikely, because it was chaotic, that they were going to be caught and held accountable for those actions. And the same thing happened when I went to Jordan a few years ago to speak to Syrian refugees. The women there told me of being raped and sexually assaulted when they were in Syria, when they were trying to escape the civil war, and also after they moved to Jordan and were living in refugee camps. Like, they were afraid to go to the toilet. They moved around in packs. Like, there was this knowledge in the back of their mind, like, there are men here who will seize the opportunity to do something to me because they don't feel like anything's going to happen to them as a result of doing that. Imagine being a man and only having to worry that the world might end or society might collapse, and not also having to worry about what the other gender will do to you if that happens. Like, some things are worse than death, and women are walking around with the knowledge that what keeps them safe is this tiny thread of a threat that men might pay the price if they do something like that. Once that's gone,